towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. Fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, in our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead.
Hold on. They say that you don't have no sound. That's weird. Hmm. Can y'all hear me?
All right, you should be able to hear me now. I don't know why sometimes this program just decides, oh, we're just going to not recognize your microphone unless you specify it. So, as I was saying, welcome everyone. I am the governor, or at least they call me that. I'm here with Bebe, and we have things to say about this episode. Alex is being respectful to her parents and not kicking them out of her house for a stream, which I don't see why she wouldn't do that, but that's just me. I'd be like, Mom, Dad, see ya. I got to go be famous on the YouTube, and they should respect that. But
Okay.
Jack might be here. He has not declined, but he has not accepted, so it'd be nice to see him. Busy will show up probably 5 minutes before we end, or if he's
Hmm.
watching now, Busy, get in here. Um,
Yes,
but
please.
Sean will not watch Fear the Walking Dead without Morgan.
Mm-mm.
And I'm not even sure what Tomash is doing these days. So,
Probably working.
yeah, he could be working or just decided he didn't want to join this particular stream, which
Well,
I
he
can
did.
kind of get.
Well, he did do a reaction to the first episode of Fear. So
He
he
might be
probably
working on his reaction for the second, which
true.
I'm sure he's got things to say as we all do. But welcome. As you can see, we have Portrait of a Lady north of 60. Amani, Big Rob, lots of familiar, well, icons. I'd say faces. Mitchell's here. Hey, welcome.
Hey, Mitchell.
A several time trivia winner. He is
Yeah.
back. And yeah, so this new episode was called Iron Tiger. And it reminded Bebe of a song. First of all, introduce yourself, Bebe, and then just sing if you'd like.
No, I'm not gonna sing. Y'all not ready for that. I'm Baby Rose. Y'all. First of all, this episode was great for me, but I have some things to say, not a whole lot to say. But y'all can follow me under dim underscore mayhem, DYM underscore mayhem on Twitter, X, and Instagram. So that's about it. And no, I'm not gonna sing for y'all. I'm not gonna sing "Eye of the Tiger." Not doing it today.
It's
A
the
voice.
Iron Tiger. It's the thrill
Oh,
of the
I am
fight.
the tiger is the dream of the
Rise
rises
it up to the glory of our rivals. I don't remember exact words.
as the last known survivors to spray in the night, and he's
And we
watching us
just lost
out.
half our audience. I think it was my singing. Now, Haley says she can't believe she's playing The Last of Us, which, playing that game is probably a better story than Fear the Walking Dead. You thought the episode was good. I thought it was good up to a point, but
And there's some
yeah.
flaws. I'm not gonna say everything. That's why I said it's good.
Lonnie is totally correct that they had the audacity to give Luciana the title card, but then the entire episode was really about Charlie,
That's what I said.
including
That's
the yeah.
that's exactly
In
what I
honor of
said.
Tomage, the disrespect. Yes.
That's exactly what I said on Twitter.
I
You
mean,
know,
honestly, I have not seen a ton of Luciana. I have not watched all of Fear the Walking Dead, so I did not see her get introduced. I did not see any of that stuff. But you know,
she
I,
was gone.
she was gone for 7 years, and apparently, made sure that Daniel would survive, which
What?
was nice of her. But she always seems to be like not that interesting of a character. I hate to say, I mean, all due respect to the actress, she can only do what is
Denying.
written in the script. But she, she was a tough, I have my people now, and I understand that, but she just seems to lack charisma. She seems
Because they didn't utilize her. They didn't.
yeah,
They didn't
they're not
utilize.
giving they're not giving her due.
Because she had an episode with Daniel in season 7, and I don't understand, like with Imani said with the title card, why that title card cannot be Luciana, because that was basically her episode. And
Yeah,
you
but it
gonna
turned into a Charlie episode, and I think they didn't put Charlie in the title card because they didn't want to give away the reveal that she survived.
true. Yeah, and that's true. And my whole thing is, did you give Luciana, even though that's what I said last week, give her a title card? Are you now giving a title card just, for us to shut up? So, okay, here's her title card. I just felt like that her title card should have been the episode of season 7 with her and Daniel. I forgot what them group who look like crows and what have you. Oh, hey, Scott, looking like crows and everything else. But yeah, that was the disrespect. No, but Denai is a good actress. I mean, she was gone in some part of season 3, but then she resurfaced in season 4, but still wasn't utilized until season 7. I mean, she was just there. But she's a good actress, though. But
I'm sure she does fine when the writing's there. Huh. Big Rob said that it was good for Fierce Standards, even though there was one issue that I had with the episode. You had one issue? I had a few more.
I have a few. That's not a lot, though, but it was good, but it was not that great, though.
Luciana's been given the Jesus treatment.
I
Character with
mean,
a lot of potential, but I think even Jesus got better development than Luciana's gotten.
Oh, yes. In this franchise, the thing is with Fear, what I have a problem with Fear is like with Luciana. Now, even though I love John Dory was not utilized as he's supposed to. And Wendell, Sarah, I mean, you get all these characters that that we waiting to have story development. John Dory have a bit of a story development, but then all of a sudden it's kind of like he was in the back burner in season 5, did so little until he has an episode of his own in season 6. And the title card, man, I'm just so mad. He gave her a title card, but it's not about her.
Yeah,
it's not about her.
And the thing is, they're running into a little bit of the same problem that the main show had, is they have so many characters. To give them the right amount of, how shall we say, to treat them right and give them the full ability to grow as a character. It's hard when you have so many.
Yeah.
And they brought back, Madison, and she's going with people on missions, and I'm like, she needs oxygen. She gets out of breath so easily. Why wouldn't she stay on the island and be an administrator? If she had done that, then Troy's people wouldn't have been hunting her in the first episode of this last half of the season. They wouldn't have been hunting her last episode, and things would have been fine. Because obviously she's been stealing children, for Padre for so many years. She's got a bad reputation. She should be staying on the island, laying low, working behind the scenes. But, she...
and, like, have somebody to do the radio and saying that, hey, this is Padre, Padre, if you want to come to stay and what have you. But, yeah, Madison had to go somewhere far away instead of Padre. Because if Troy found out that, Padre, exists, and Madison is there, and then all hell is going to break loose.
Well, even before they knew about Troy, I mean, she's got all these parents who are still a little peeved about their children being taken away, which I can understand. I mean, I don't have children, I have cats, but if someone took one of my cats, I would find them and I would kill them.
I mean, it seems like that
You
Troy,
know.
I know I know we're ahead, but it seems like that Troy, there's it ain't what we thought it was. The reason why he wanted Madison. I mean, it seemed like it's that reason of why he wanted to get Madison. You know.
Well, he wants revenge, and and just like in the first episode when he was saying, she took everything from me and all that, and she didn't say, well, you did this, 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 and she didn't defend herself. And this episode, they find at the drop point where they're supposed to get gasoline, which apparently now Luciana is like the premier expert in refining crude oil into gasoline. So that's why Padre gave her a job. But they see, it was pretty obvious when they saw the little sign that said, take what you need, leave what you don't, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The things that they used to do.
Yep.
That was pretty obvious that it was one of their old crew resurrecting that, nice thing. I don't even know why Daniel was like, why would someone do that? Why did you do it in the first place? It's nice. It's, it's a beacon of hope in this hopeless world. So
exactly. And it's kind of like you, in a way, I was like, you should know who possibly can do that, because this whole episode was a tribute to season 5 and Nick, honestly. And that whole sign was in season 5 with Morgan and Martin, that heifer Martha, who put antifreeze in a water at the gas station. That's why Strand said, you know what, Luciana, we had a moment in the gas station. Remember that? And I was like, well, it could be somebody that we know that would leave a sign who would.
Hey, not all gas stations are evil.
No. But
Russell asks, when is Alicia going to show up? Yeah, is she really dead? When in this show, if someone doesn't explicitly die on screen, they're going to show up again. I mean, we had it with Madison. We had it with Troy. We had it with Charlie, who we're going to definitely talk about very soon. They had it with Daniel. Daniel was like, he was shot in the face. He was surrounded by fire. He had all these things happen that should have killed him off. And nope, he shows up, no problem. With the cat, which, the cat might have saved him.
But they did it in such a good way, though, in bringing Daniel, back. But see, with Madison, because Kim was on Talking Dead, she was, like, hey, that was it for you. And then you taking her back. That's because I think the ratings were low, so let's just bring Madison back. I like Madison, but she ain't like my favorite character. I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful to Kim, because I do love Kim Dickens, but her acting didn't, sucks in this show.
Well, again,
like Jack said,
it's partially the script.
Yeah, like Jack said, I saw his reaction. She can't be angry. It's something about her being angry. It's just kind of like, oh, girl, like,
since
you be angry.
Back, she's done nothing but fucking annoy me.
Yeah.
First she steals baby Mo, and then she's like, it's just she flip-flops back and forth. Again, the writers on the show, I'm sure they were part of the strike, but AMC should have took the opportunity to say, okay, be on strike. When the strike ends, we're going to find new writers, because you guys suck. My problem with this, Madison was mad at Charlie. Mm-hmm. But again, this is a situation where Charlie was like, look, I was 11 years old. He had just killed the man who was protecting me. Mm-hmm. I was scared. I was angry. I didn't know what I was doing. I shot him. I very much regret it, but he did kill this guy that, was kind of like a father figure to me. Mm-hmm. Even if he was a bad person, he was a father figure to me, and Nick killed him, and, it was kind of an eye for an eye type thing. I regret that I killed Nick, and I'm sorry that I killed Nick, but you know, it's understandable that I killed Nick because I was a fucking 11-year-old who just saw her guardian get shot by Nick.
Yeah, she was just a baby. Like seeing the flashback of her when she was that young. I mean, she was just a baby. I mean, she looked so young. And, you know, at first, you know, when I reacted to when Nick got killed, yeah, I was mad at Charlie. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, and especially the episode with her and Alicia at the house. I mean, let's remind ourselves, Alicia did not forgive Charlie at first. She wanted to kill Charlie when she saw her. Okay, but they were stuck in that house during the storm, and you know Charlie wanted to talk to Alicia about like being on the beach, and I was like reacting to it. I was like, "Heifer, who said that we're friends? Like, like you killed my brother." And so, but like with Negan, with only Rick and Alexandria, you know, it's kind of like you get mad, but then there's clarity, you know, and with Charlie being that young, knowing, you know, under the guidance of, I guess, the group called the Vultures, I think, with that guy, you know, yeah, we would do the same thing. If somebody shot who we see, who we look up to, you know, we will shoot back, what have you. But at least Charlie had a wherewithal to realize that she did wrong.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I've not been happy that Charlie was just accepted after she killed Nick like that, but again, she had reasons. It's, in fact, Morgan was kind of warning Nick that if he went down this path, he was open up a can of worms, and he did. Alex, who's in the chat and not here where she belongs,
yeah, she said she's gonna be in the chat.
we all knew if Madison was going to survive and if Charlie was still alive, we would get them head to head, and I'm glad we got it. It was just strange how it all panned out. Again, they don't write dialogue or characters that well. And you know, later after Madison said you go kill Troy, which, you know, was a stupid thing for her to try to have her do.
Mm-hmm.
And then she drives down the road and she's got people with guns, and you know, Madison's like, come back, and he's like, I can't. She could have explained, they're here, sign off, you're gonna give me away, shut up. Because, you know, Troy opened the door and he's like, you know, why am I gonna trust you when I hear Madison Clark on the radio, you know?
I want to ask if she does, you know, if that's no, because she didn't, because that's their first time meeting with one another, because Charlie doesn't know about Troy at all. So, you know, that's their first time meeting one another. And
well, Madison should have described him, and then when he opened the door and he was sitting there like an arrogant prick, she should have said, I'll come out, and then stabbed him in the eye. Come on. There are ways to do this. And first, they had men in the road with rifles, and I understand that. But she's driving a truck. You know, she could have ran him over. You know, she didn't have to stop when they were aiming rifles at her. I mean, yeah, if they shot the tanker, it would start to leak, and then she'd have to get out because it would probably spark up and explode eventually. But, you know, why she just stopped when, you know, some guys with rifles who may or may not have ammunition at this point.
well, maybe I think she just did that, you know, didn't do that simply because she wanted to do what Madison tell her to do. Hey, mission is to kill Troy and not, you know, so he won't kill Troy, then nobody knows where Padre is. So yeah, I would do that too. Yeah, I would do that. I would run him over. But you know, with Charlie's mind, it's like I want to please Madison and just kill Troy. Yeah, why not stab him in the eye while you're sitting there? You know, you got your chance. But you know, people's mind don't, you know, work that way, you know, in that situation and stuff. But
yeah, I don't know that people's minds don't work that way, but the writers don't allow the characters to think very well.
Because they suck, Governor.
Yes, it's pretty obvious. The writers, I mean, I don't know why these people are so bad at what they do. I mean, these are writers who want to have a situation happen, but they don't then figure out how these characters that they're working with would naturally get into that situation. They force them into the situation because they think, oh, this would be cool.
Because I don't think they even, like I know, excluding y'all, whoever didn't watch the first few seasons of Fear. I don't even think they watched the first few seasons of Fear the Walking Dead to know what's going on, because with the stories being so different, and it doesn't make any sense. Like with the main show, it made sense of, they go into one place, there's a reason why they're at this place, there's a reason why they're dealing with these group of people. But with Fear, they had it, and then all of a sudden it's just, oh, let's just throw in something, and let's just throw in more people and what have you. Let's just throw in this situation. Okay, even though nobody really cares about this show, so if nobody cares, let's just crap on it. That's what I think that they doing. And instead of hearing, fans of Fear saying, hey, get new writers, they still got these two dudes. They had it with season 6. I don't understand it. They got it with season 6, and then they dropped the ball. Yeah. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. I know we're not talking about the episode entirely. Okay. My peeps.
Well, I mean, yeah, these, I don't know, the writers have produced good stuff in the past, but, yeah, it's like Big Rob said, Madison forcing Charlie to infiltrate Troy's group was a horrible idea, and yeah, I mean, first of all, when she was an 11-year-old kid, it was a little easier for her to infiltrate groups because the whole kid factor. And, to just be like, oh, you still have those skills, 10 years later, however long it's been, so, I don't know. It was a bad decision, and there was a lot of bad decisions. I mean, I know we're kind of speeding through the episode, but, she gets captured. She gets put in that room, and yeah, I saw the glass on the floor, and I'm thinking, shoot the glass from Die Hard, and she was barefoot and everything like that.
Oh yeah.
Which was pretty good, but when she got the guy's gun and shot the one guy and had the other guy in front of her, she could have shot him, took off her shirt and brushed away the glass enough to get out of the room, because not every room has glass. And then
wait, did she stab the guy though? She stabbed the guy.
Did she? Yeah, I think she stabbed him.
Yeah, she stabbed the guy. Then she got the gun and point. I don't even think they wanted to kill him. I said, honestly, here's when Troy and Charlie was talking. And first of all, Charlie is an asshole. I'm sorry for my language. I'm trying to keep up a reputation since I'm doing my Honey Baby Kids Academy. So, I try to keep my reputation, not cuss and what have you. But with Troy being an asshole by chopping off the Walker's left arm to mess with Madison, man, that is a dick move. I'm like, Troy.
What I don't get, though, is he was also cutting the left arms off of, like, male fighters. So it's like, why?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, with long hair. And I'm like, I said, Troy, man, you a dick, man. I'm not going to lie. I did laugh. I said, oh. No.
She stabbed him with a piece of glass right into, the throat. Really, it was a good thing, and then she got his gun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just watched it earlier today, and I gotta say, Fear kind of blurs for me, because it's like it's just not the best. I mean, I like the actress who plays Charlie.
Oh yeah, Alexa. Yeah,
she is great, and for her, it didn't make sense for her to suddenly be alive because she was dying from radiation poisoning, and I don't care what they had at Padre as far as medication. It would be at that point, she was pretty much on her last legs. I think it was too little too late
Yeah,
he
I'm
would've
not gonna be
done.
surprised. I'm not gonna be surprised if Alexa saying that, hey, you ain't gonna kill me off screen. Okay. If I wanna go, because I came on this show. I stayed here for the longest since season 4. I'm gonna die off, I'm gonna die on screen. Well, we didn't see her, die though, but she did. But so it's like you ain't gonna do with me like y'all did with Wendell, Sarah, and Josiah. Okay. You know, yeah, and I know people were pissed off. It's kind of like those who love Charlie, it's kind of like we got her and y'all gonna kill her off.
I mean, I
like
never liked
that.
the fact that she killed Nick. I didn't like that,
But
but I understood her and I accepted her a bit, and I kind of liked her attitude when she was um, dealing with that kid, and then she actually got that's where she actually got the radiation poisoning.
mhm, yeah.
So I thought her character had potential, and I I don't know that they aged her up quite enough for 7 years, considering how old she was. You
So
know,
7 years, she was 18. She's 18. That's
well,
okay.
no, she was 11 when she shot Nick, but there was also a time jump
Oh, so she was
somewhere in
20.
there.
Then she had to be 20.
Yeah, I mean, she kind of looked like she could be 20 or more,
Mhm.
but yeah,
Yeah.
but for her to come back, first of all, yeah, on-screen deaths are better, but
Mhm.
like we don't know where Wendell and Sarah are. Does anyone have any idea where they are? They're just
No,
gone.
they said that they killed them all.
Off
They
screen?
off screen death. Wendell, Sarah, Josiah, Rabbi. Yeah.
They were
That's
killed?
what
Well, if
yeah,
it
they
was
said
off
they got an off
screen,
screen death.
if they
I
were
mean,
off
if I
screen deaths, then they're potentially not dead. The rabbi is
and they
going to
not
show
because they
up
said they
like in
ain't
a
coming
ghillie
back.
suit.
Me, unless I'm wrong, let hope people let me know if I'm wrong because that's what I've read. Like they not coming back. That was it for their
Well,
storyline. I
I
hope
mean,
not.
I think they were trying to trim down to the most relevant characters. And, you know, Sarah, I liked her attitude and didn't really know Wendell as well. Wasn't there for the introduction to them. And Portrait of a Lady says seeing Charlie drive that big rig drove her nuts. Um,
He's hold on. Imani. Josiah was the twin of that bounty hunter in season 6. You know?
yeah, was
Yeah.
the one who had where Morgan got the axe from him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Like
almost got the axe from him, but
yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. But
I think it's a shame. I can see them trimming the fat, and I think they did it in a horrible way. I mean, I actually had to look back because I thought Luciana was in the first episode when they all came charging in, but then I realized it was June and not Luciana.
yeah.
Because then they met. Obviously, they found Luciana, who's been doing these nice, setups for people.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't see where Troy knowing about her people is really going to affect her all that much. He's made a big deal out of it because
I
if
understand.
Troy sends out people and they find these places that say take what you need, leave what you don't, or
I
leave
think
take a
because
penny,
she
leave a penny type things.
I think it's because she's connected to Madison, in a way because he knows Luciana too. I mean, it ain't like Troy doesn't know who Luciana is. And I think that once if he knows about where she is, then gonna take that away. Anything that's involved with Madison, this whole Madison circle, like I'm gonna take, from you because what you took from me, I'm gonna take everything from you.
Yeah, and
And
I also think that's, as I was saying last week, it's kind of stupid to carry a grudge that long in the afterlife or in the apocalypse. I've been watching Upload, which is cool, and that's kind of the afterlife. But yeah, to carry this grudge around for that many years, like 10 years, and then happen to find Madison again. It's a big world, for him to have found her is like, he needs therapy. I mean, seriously, therapy. And he's got a son, or a daughter,
Daughter
and
Tracy.
yeah, little Tracy, and it's like, that should be your priority, not getting your revenge on Madison, because that can cause problems.
Well, come to find out, that is not the reason, like what we thought it was. That's what I was saying. Like with the whole ranch thing, I just think that he just said it. He knew he the one that did that. But I think it came to I think it's a revelation that Troy, I don't know, was part of a group who wanted Madison, who's been taking children, because he said to Madison, "Well, you're gonna take my daughter, like you did with the others. I mean, you're responsible for my wife's death." And I'm like, who is Tracy's mama? I'm like, so this is not about the ranch. This is about still Madison taking children. So that's the whole nother.
Well, I think it's taking his wife away.
And I'm like, taking who? It's like reason for her death. I'm like, now people be saying it's probably Alicia. that's Tracy's and Troy's daughter. And I'm like, being responsible of, if it's Alicia, it doesn't make sense, because
I really doubt it's Alicia's child. I'm sure she would have been like, it's very easy for a guy to father a child and not know it, because he could, there's the intercourse, he goes away, doesn't realize he impregnated someone, and he travels off into the apocalyptic world. Rather more difficult for a woman to get pregnant and not realize that she's pregnant and not be aware that she has a child. So I don't think it's Alicia at all.
I don't think so. So my whole thing is, like, her mother. Oh, that's because the only thing that I can even think of, and I know it ain't it, is the woman in season 7, who that girl's mama. Because if with that girl Odessa, that baby Moby hang around with, that little hard-headed chick, either that she was taken away at 5 or 6 or 7 years old, and then the mother already is pregnant, gave birth, what have you, still trying to find her oldest daughter. But then all of a sudden she got killed, and then Troy must have found out that she was dead, what have you. Or if it is Alicia, maybe Alicia must have heard during those 7 years. I mean, after the 7 year, I don't know, Madison's voice on the radio and came to look for her, and then he found her dead. I don't know, but I don't understand how is Alicia.
I don't know. No, Big Rob said they gave, I guess, talking about, they gave her kind of the Carl off-screen death. Carl kind of died on screen. I mean, we didn't actually see him pull the trigger, but he was definitively dead. Carl was.
It was the same. It was the same. I agree with Big Rob, because Carl and big C's. Okay, so Charlie and Carl, killed themselves, but we didn't see it. So in a way, they did, but except for the difference is that homeboy was big and she wasn't. She decided to off herself, not giving the location of Padre.
Well, if during this 7 years time jump, if Alicia was still alive and came across Troy, she would not get jiggy with it with Troy, I don't think. And even if she, was so inclined, she would not want to carry a baby, because she's still dealing with the fighting the infection. So, I mean, it's possible that she eventually beat the infection, but
could be. But she messed with Troy's brother. Jacob, Troy's brother. Jacob and Alicia had a thing, and I'm like,
again, I didn't watch those episodes, so this Troy guy is like.
Yeah,
because I watched Fear season 1, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna go watch some paint dry. Might be more interesting. I was not a fan of Fear to begin with, and I skipped a lot of things. And when Morgan came back on, I kind of started watching then a little bit. And then I watched a few of the Stadium episodes, but I never got to the point where the Stadium fell or anything like that. So I am patchy, which is why, Alex, that... or TWD Mombi, it's like I did not want to do a Fear the Walking Dead trivia because I'd have no fucking clue about half the questions.
Oh man, I would roast you if I get all of them right. I want to roast you so bad. Like
I've only seen the show once, so
There's
no way I would've gone right. Hello,
Hey,
people.
Busy.
How you guys doing?
We're doing
Good,
fine.
you're earlier than usual.
I know.
expected you at about 9:55.
I know. So I ended up looking at the chat like to see how the stream was going, and I saw that like you started off the stream by saying Busy will be here about 5 minutes late. I probably should break that that rep. Probably should get out of that. But I am happy to be here.
Glad to
See,
have
North
you.
of 60 knows how to give me an introduction. Bebe usually gives me the
Busy.
with 100% energy.
I'm hot. It's gonna be cold here soon, but I'm hot. I'm sweating.
I thought you for a moment you said you're high. I'm like, did you take an edible
No,
before?
no, I don't know. I don't do those things. No.
It's
Anybody
getting
do
chilly
that,
over here. What's up,
I ain't
Big
gonna
Rob?
judge if you do it, but I don't do it. Okay, no, not me.
We had a party on Saturday, and some people got high, and someone suggested I got high. I'm like, yeah, no.
Not my thing either, yeah. I went to a party and everyone was like passing around, and I'm just like, nah, I'm good. Not my
I
thing.
appreciate the offer, but not my thing. So,
No.
if you do it, that's totally up to you. It is your.
Unfortunately, it
your
makes
choice.
you less cooler if you don't do it. That's the rules.
Oh, really?
And like I
don't pay attention to the rules. I make my own goddamn rules. But we've been bouncing all over the place.
Oh yeah,
Madison freaking out when she found out Charlie shot Nick.
dude, this was such a dark episode.
It was, and it's like, hey, we get to see Charlie has somehow survived when she was, basically, days from death, yet somehow Padre was able to cure her of her, radiation sickness.
Whatever works with the plot, man.
And now she has long, luxurious hair. That
And
looks
she's
like
supposed to be what, like 21 now? How old is she supposed to be?
That's what
Somewhat
we're
around
figuring,
that
early 20s.
No, yeah, I was talking to Jack a little bit last night about it, and we were trying to figure it out.
And where did she get conditioner? Because that hair was,
It's
It
oil,
was
man.
made.
It's
It
the
was
oil.
like, woo. It's like, come on, Pocahontas.
I
do
mean,
your
she could have
thing.
turned around in slow motion and had that wave around and been
Maybe
like,
it's Maybelline. And do it like all that.
or it's like it's the Pantene difference.
But yeah, but you know what with Charlie and Daniel's relationship, I was like, you know what? It's kind of crazy how Daniel took Charlie under his wing, because remember that John Dory had taken Charlie under his wing in June as well, because John wanted that family in season 5 so bad with June and Charlie. And then all of a sudden then it shifted to Daniel and Charlie being
he
that
is missing
close.
Ophelia.
Yeah, and then here comes Luciana. Hey, you remind me of my daughter, Ophelia. When I was like, hey, I was like,
Yeah,
for
and
real?
shouldn't he be like staring at a wall somewhere? Like, I just don't get how he's. I don't
He
know.
was suffering from dementia, but recent medical findings have found that
If you
Viagra.
forget you have it, it works.
No, Viagra actually staves off the symptom. It gives you less chance of getting dementia. So maybe he found a catch of Viagra. And,
Man, you're talking out your ass, bro. No way.
No, seriously, this is a medical thing.
I'm like,
That apparently one of the things with Viagra is if you take it, you have a 60% less chance of getting dementia. So, that's what I'm figuring. He found a bunch of the little blue pills. And,
No, but
he
he
needed a
did take
weapon.
something.
Sometimes he didn't have a knife, so he figured he'd take a blue pill and, use that for stab. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Mombi makes a good point. She says that was definitely a wig from the radiology. She lost all of her hair. which
That's right.
that would make sense.
She did. Dang, I forgot about
I didn't even think about that.
I forgot. And I man, I had it, I didn't lose hair when I had cancer a long time ago. No.
Nah,
Like,
it
dang.
sometimes it happens
depends on
due to
the
the
treatment
chemo,
and
you
the
know?
chemo.
Because I know my mom lost a lot of like she lost her hair like almost entirely because
My
of the
mama
chemo.
had to cut her hair.
She ended up cutting it because it was like patching. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But-
the thing was, it has been 7 years. If she was cured 7 years ago, and she lost her hair,
It makes sense.
most people who have had chemotherapy and lost their hair during the treatment, it grows back after a while. So
Yeah.
it may have been definitely a wig, in real life, but
Well,
it
the
might
cast, yeah,
have
but-
been supposed to be her real hair because, she it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
makes sense.
I don't know. I think it's a moot point because if it was a wig, it's not usable by anyone else after she did her little bam bam.
That's so sick, dude. I can't
That
believe they did that.
I think there were alternative methods of her getting out of there instead of killing herself. She could have killed the other guy who was pointing a gun at her who didn't want to shoot her.
You think they're gonna do what The Walking Dead didn't do? Like I truly believed so many more people were gonna die in The Walking Dead. So do you think Fear is gonna kill off like a majority of their cast? Because like they're probably not gonna return as much. I feel like their chances of returning aren't as high as like the Walking Dead cast members are. You know what I'm saying?
It's quite possible that they're going to kill off more people. I think they wanted to just give Charlie an on-screen death, but she was also holding the gun here.
Mm-hmm.
If she pulled the trigger here, the bullet would go through her lower jaw, probably blow her nose off. She actually probably just destroyed her face, unless she tilted it back at the last minute.
Let's not go into detail with this,
Yeah.
all right, bro?
I'm like,
I'm just saying, the way she was holding it, I'm like, bitch, that's not how you kill yourself.
It's like she was alive for another 30 seconds after the gun went off due to all of that extra nonsense.
In the mouth could have worked a little bit better. Again, you got a point for the brain.
I'm okay.
Hey, yo, bro.
I'm not gonna give directions on here.
Hello.
But yeah, Russell says it was meant to look like she was wearing a wig, so they might have very well given her a wig.
So they probably like this. Because
Because the
did.
writers don't understand that hair can grow back after 7 years after you finish your treatments. So they're like, oh, people who, she might have had cancer at this point because she had the things on her neck, so very high chance that she had cancer. But unless she's getting regular treatment, her hair's going to still grow back.
Mm-hmm.
And Russell says, where would the survivors return to? What show? And it's, I guess they could have a Tales of the Walking Dead if they or Tales from the Walking Dead, whatever they're going to call the next anthology show. They could show up there, but I doubt
But
it.
at the same time, though, it's like none of these characters have like a potential having a spin-off or any story continuation of their story.
No one is gonna watch a spin-off with like a majority of
Fear.
these characters.
Yeah.
Certainly
unless-
not
Walking Dead-
Luciana. After they'd make a spin-off for her, it would be all about another character, just like
I
this
would watch
episode.
her just to
Honestly, I feel like I would have, but at this point, I don't care. I mean, I'm not too into it. Like I like her character. I just can't see myself watching a entire, spin-off with like one character from the show. I mean, The Walking Dead, there was plenty of characters that they could have done that with. Like I would have watched the Rosita spin-off, you know what I'm saying? But I just can't see myself watching.
If John Dory Jr. had lived, I would
Honestly, I could see that. I could have seen
I
that.
would have watched John Dory
Yeah.
Jr.
Of course, I would watch John.
But I
Dory.
think at this point, like I hate to say it, but
I don't
there's
think I'd
really-
watch it for the same reason that Bebe would watch it.
There's not
That's
like
my husband.
there's not
Dang.
like one character in the show that I really, really enjoy like I used to. You know what I'm saying? Dwight is the only one I think that I really care, and June a little bit, but Strand, I just can't stand him. Madison after this episode, I just don't care. I mean, Daniel, I mean, I care for the dude, but I don't know how much you can do with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
And
Like,
he's not as badass as he used to be, you know?
Mm.
I mean, he should have just shot Troy right away. It's like, we don't know how many people he has. Well, shoot him.
That's true.
And
I
then,
agree with Daniel on that one because I ain't gonna shoot him yet because I don't know how many people I'm going to be dealing with if I shot him. Then I'm going to die. If Troy's army
if
going to
he
come
is
and
the
shoot me,
capable
what's he
leader,
crazy?
you shoot him. I mean, yeah, someone else will step up, but will they have the same goals? Will they have the same vitriol towards Madison? Probably not, unless they were a parent. So at least that way it would have confused the leadership situation and given them a tactical advantage. So, I don't see a downside, and they should have killed Troy and his two goons in that first episode. But they don't do anything that makes sense.
Well, with the spinoffs, like what Big Rob said, now I would watch, Strand spinoff because he kind of got that kind of potential of a spinoff. That kind of, that's a
Who,
big
Strand?
word, kind of. Yeah, Strand.
No, I feel like they could do a lot with this character.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
personally, I just don't care for his character. But I do believe, like, if they were gonna do a spinoff, I think his character is the one to do it with. But even then, I don't think it would be like an amazing show.
Yeah, and I wouldn't watch it. I don't find his character that compelling. I mean, in the beginning, he was kind of cool, but
No, yeah, I liked him in the beginning, but I mean, all the douchebag stuff, I mean, I just don't care anymore. It's not my thing.
It's like, what is it going to be like the Grinch? His heart's going to grow 3 sizes over the course of a spin-off series. And he's going to, maybe it grew 1 size already, now that he's found Madison again and Alicia, spared him. So maybe it'll grow a couple more sizes,
That's what people who are fans of Alicia, these big time fans of Alicia, they will watch a spinoff with Alicia in a heartbeat. And that's what they like when she walked off last season. They were like, I hope there's a spinoff with Alicia because I would see that, then I would see this Fear show. I mean, if Alicia had a spinoff, fans, not me, not so much, but yeah, you're gonna have people watching Alicia. Those who love
Robin S says she'd watch a spinoff with Skidmark. I might do.
I'd watch shorts with like them just putting a GoPro on his back and just having like an 8-minute shorts of him like escaping like a herd of zombies or something.
Mercenary X84 says, wouldn't the spinoff be called Anton?
Anton.
And Alex is like, I love a Nick prequel series. What? Do you really want to watch him getting high? I mean, Nick was a mess, a total mess. So if you wanted to watch his descent into becoming a drug addict, yeah, there's plenty of stuff like that.
I think I can see myself watching a Troy spinoff.
Yeah.
A Troy spinoff? I don't know. I don't know Troy that well because I didn't see him previously.
What do you mean you didn't see him
people start watching
previously?
this.
Wait, you skipped the show, right? Didn't you?
I skipped entire seasons, so
that's really crazy, bro. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
I only really started watching regularly when Morgan came back, and that, and even that, I saw that like the first episode where Morgan showed up, and then I don't think I caught the rest of that season. I think season, because he came over in season 4, was it? And then I think season 5 is the first full season I'd watched since season 1. So I've seen bits and pieces of the other seasons. I know about Alicia on the boat in season 2 getting calls from people like, come help us, come help us. This is not a trap. We guarantee it. And, Strand being like, no, fully a trap. I remember vaguely things about that, but, yeah. I would fill in all this stuff, but to be honest, I don't care about the characters that much anymore. So,
but with Troy, people start coming back and watching the show. It was because of Troy, because when he died, there's some people who was mad when they thought that he was killed off the show, and then when they found out that he's back, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get back and watching the show since Troy is here, and it's like now that fear from season 3 Phil is back in this season. So, but really, I don't care for Troy that much. He's a good character, like Teddy. But I don't know.
I'm trying to see. This is like ratings for Fear the Walking Dead. You know, like current stuff. Let's see.
It should be like low a little
People
bit.
also ask, when did Fear the Walking Dead get bad?
It,
um,
ooh, I said for me, it was the start of season 4 because they deviate from the storyline entirely. Like it's like what we saw in season 4, 5, 6, 7 now. It could have been like season 8 could have been at least season 11 or 12 at least. But because they ignored the dam and Strand and Alicia being Madison, Strand, Alicia, Nick and Daniel were all separated because the dam had been blown up. Madison was washed up on shore, from a family, and then Strand and Alicia were together, and I think Nick and Daniel were separated too. So, but then all of a sudden, season 4, all of them reunited, and we never seen no story with that at all. They end up at the stadium. I'm like, when did this happen? And then it just didn't make sense afterwards. I mean, yeah,
It was
you
such a
introduced
mess.
yeah. So start of season 4, it's not a good. I would say they could have kept season 4 storyline, but push it in future seasons. Because how Nick ended up with Luciana, when did that happen? When did Alicia and Strand reunite? When did that happen? So yeah, it's season 4 for me. But I ain't bitter. But season 6 was good though. Yeah.
No, I enjoyed season 6.
I mean, the last week's episode actually got a .10 on the Nielsen ratings.
A .10?
.10.
Yeah, a .1 as opposed to the mid-season finale got a .06. So people are back, and the first season 8 premiere back in May got a .09. So this one did a little bit better. Maybe people were suffering from organ fatigue, but it's it's not season 7 of Fear on AMC averaged a .15. Now for season 8 it's averaging like .08. So I mean, it might be like season 9 of the original show was such a breath of fresh air compared to like 7 and 8. They had color. It was incredible. There was like saturation of color. And no, we haven't figured out Troy's baby mama yet. I think he mentioned someone, but I don't know who it was. But by season 9, so many people were upset after Glenn was killed off and Abraham was killed off, and then the really depressing season 7 and the really kind of repeat season 8 with all out war and stuff. That I think season 9, even though it was really, really good, it failed to totally revitalize the series. It did some, but I think once you lose people, and then of course, Carl dying and Rick no longer being on the show,
I kind of felt like they kind of revived
There were challenges.
I kind of felt like they kind of revived a little bit when Alpha came on the scene, and the Whisperers, the Whisperers, because Samantha Morton, killed it.
Oh yeah.
She
awesome
killed it.
Actress. But
that was a scary
this show.
But
I mean, I think these last 6 episodes are going to be like focusing on each of the characters. Like the next one looks like it's going to be very focused on Dwight. And I think so. These last 6 episodes are probably a farewell. Kind of like, hey, we're gonna focus on each of these characters so we could say goodbye at the end.
I'm pretty sure we're going back to the sanctuary, right?
That did look like the sanctuary.
The
With Dwight
sanctuary.
episode. Yeah, for next week. Yeah, next week. Yeah, with Dwight episode and Sherry episode in June.
That might be. That will be interesting. I mean, I kind of watched it and I just was like, dude, your scar's getting really discolored, man. Those makeup artists are really, getting very creative. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting season. But again, like last week, lack of communication. Charlie could have explained herself better about why she shot Nick. Nick did kind of ask for it when she shot, the guy that was basically her guardian at that point. So, yeah, nobody in this goddamn fucking show communicates. I said it last week, and I'll say it again.
And again, it's like with Madison, we all understand why Madison is angry, because this is the first time she heard that her son had died and Charlie was responsible.
Well, she knew her son had died, but she didn't know how.
How? And we can understand her being angry. We can understand that. But it's like when we say like read the room, when she said no, that's Strand. It's like I'm Anton. No, that's Strand. Like read the room, girl. It's like read the room, and you know that you weren't even here. I understand that you mad, but you weren't even here throughout these years to know how much of a family that Charlie was to the rest of the group.
And how Alicia, basically gave her that second chance. So,
yeah.
I mean, the mistake that was made was Madison very emotionally made this stupid decision to send Charlie after Troy, which she should not have done. She should have given it time to process, found out more about the situation with Nick, and not been like, yeah, well, prove yourself to me, you little bitch, because you shot my son. Go kill Troy. Since you like killing people so much. It's like, that was fucking 10 years ago.
Exactly. It's just like she said, like I was 11, I realized, like how many people who was taken advantage of at that age realize what they're doing is right, but then when they grow up, they realize that they've been like, taken advantage of because she was 11. What better age to take someone and, because of their vulnerable state, because they're impressionable, hey, these are the bad guys, you got to kill them, and they do something stupid. It's kind of like, okay, they doing good, but really truly doing bad. But she recognized that. It's like, okay, I understand you mad, but you're gonna send this child to kill Troy because you're angry. Again, I understand it, but no, honey child. And with Strand telling Madison that Alicia was the one that gave Charlie the chance, I wish that Alicia was there, because I know she'd be mad
like,
at
Mom,
hell.
you shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about.
It's like, you gave her a chance. It's like, hey, at first I didn't. I wanted to kill her, but then, I forget. You taught us that, Mom. You taught us that. Now what? But yeah, and Daniel gone off on Madison. That was.
Yeah. I
said that's not on Troy. That's not on Troy. I can't blame Troy for that. When Charlie decided to offer herself, I can't blame Troy on that one. That's Madison. Madison.
A couple things in the chat. Portrait of a Lady says, I know somebody who refused to watch after Glenn died, and there's a few people who did that. Big Rob says that he feels that Glenn and Abraham's death needed to die to bring the show back to its roots where no one was safe. Who would have thought that Shane would have died so quickly, or Dale and all, Andrea. Season 7, also says it would have been the Negan show, which it was. And Amani, I agree totally with this. I don't necessarily enjoy season 7, but the first half was pretty depressing. But the comeback in the second half was good, except that they ground down the heroes for the entire first half of the season, and then they had a break. You know, at the end of that first half, they were like, all right, we're going to finally start fighting back. And then we had to wait to actually see that happen. You know, so it, you know, if they didn't drag it out so long, the grinding down of the Grimes and all that, I mean, I like to see Rick, you know, get shit on because, you know, I'm not his biggest fan, but
We know.
I have my reasons, but yeah, they just ground him down for too long. Yes, the hero's journey is to get the hero into a, you know, a very low point and then have them come back. But if you keep them low too long and just make it worse and worse and worse, people are like, I don't want to watch the person I really admire just, you know, get ground down and shat on and, you know, be a fucking total wimp like, you know, Rick was for much of the beginning of season 7. People didn't want to see that, and they started to drift away.
I stayed.
I watched it too. Robin never
I-
cared for Madison.
I'm just not a, you know, I know people are going to hate me for this, but I'm not a believer just because either a favorite character dies and that's it. I just like, ooh, y'all gonna hate me, but I just believe that's a punk move to do to quit the show. It's like you're not gonna watch it because of Glenn or because of Carl. So you're gonna end. You know, hey, I love John Dory, but yeah, I'm not gonna like. I did say like I ain't gonna watch the show, but I'm like I'm gonna watch the show. I'm gonna see how it is. I'm gonna pan out. You know, like it'd be nice if John Dory's there or somebody who likes Glenn. It'd be nice if Glenn was there. You know, I said just ride it out. You know, just like. You know,
I didn't
yeah,
give up, but I even found it a little depressing to watch. You know, it's like it was just Negan winning after winning after winning. And poor little lady says, you started to go, but what did I start? Killing people? I mean, I did enjoy that, but, you know, the real person who started it was Shane Walsh, because Otis was his first victim. Robin says she never cared for Madison, though. Big Rob says the only part I hate about season 7, second half is Sasha's death. But she needed to go off to space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the USS Discovery. So yeah, that's why she had to die. And she had a good death. She almost got Negan. That would have been good.
Oh, yeah. That was a good. Yeah, that was a good. Yeah. Oh,
Busy. Talk more. You're sitting there so introspective.
I guess because we all over the place. We ain't like specifically talking about the episode.
Well, give us your thoughts on the episode and get off mute because you're muted.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I was just enjoying listening to you guys talk. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I honestly the like I said before, extremely dark. And
it was.
I don't know. I mean, I like the show, like especially where it started, but I just can't help but to watch the show and get frustrated because of how like kind of off some of the characters feel. And you know, I know it's been 7 years, but it just feels like they're trying too hard. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It's hard to be attached to it, but at the same time, like there's a lot of like crazy shock value moments that are kind of sucking me in. But other than that, I don't know. I'm not 100% feeling. The last 2 episodes have been great, like in terms of like keeping me at the edge of my seat. But I'm so scared that they're not going to end the season in a way that's going to be satisfying. I don't know. I'm curious on how it's going to play out.
And because I think that what they're going to do with Troy is do what they always do with characters. Hey, let's redeem them. Let's forgive them. That's
what it looked like after this episode. I don't think, like a lot of people were in my comments saying, oh yeah, I don't think that he killed Alicia, yada yada yada. And then after this episode, I'm starting to think that because it just seemed like he was desperate to find a spot for his little girl or whatever. But I don't know. I'm here till the end, but I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with him. But I really hope it's not a to redeem type thing. Like I don't want them like overdoing it with the redemption. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like redemption, like Negan's for an example, they took their time and it was kind of entertaining to see. But I don't know how they're gonna pull this off. But I'm still gonna be here and see how they do it. But I'm just curious.
In 4 episodes, they can't redeem him that quickly, but he could sacrifice himself and be like, Madison, please take care of Tracy.
I think that would be extremely out of character, though, considering how like terrible Madison has been and how like untrustworthy she is.
Yeah.
I mean, unless we had so much more time with Madison and Troy, where Troy was like, yeah, they may not trust you, they may not be able to see the person I do, but I trust you with her. But at the end of the day, no, Madison's just she's not a good person.
No.
I mean,
she kind of sucks and is annoying me worse than she annoyed me in season 1, because she was annoying back then too.
It's like this season, the last 2 episodes for me, at least from what I can remember, have been like the best episodes of the season. I know the ones with Morgan, like what was it when we went back? I enjoyed those as well, but I don't feel like the season has been insane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm so curious to see what they're gonna do.
I mean, it hasn't been as bad as I feared. You know, I've been able to watch it and
I'll give them that.
Find
for sure.
it entertaining, but it hasn't been as good as I might have hoped.
And there's like a lot of moments where I just don't know what to say because I'm just like I don't know, lots of words, man.
Again, I think the writers, they have a path that they want these characters to walk, and they just force them along it, even if it's not something that the character would normally do, or if it doesn't fit in with their character. They're just shoehorning it in instead of finding a compelling reason for the character as they were to do what the writers want. That's the difference between a writer. They're basically plot-driven writers. You need to take into account the characters. This is what I want to happen. Now, why would the characters do that? Why would they take this path? And not just come up with, revenge or, some stupid, be a little more nuanced than the base motivations they've been giving people. And for Charlie to just, it was just, first of all, it seemed unlikely that she had lived all these years, but then she came back and she was gone again. And for her to follow Madison's directions when Madison's clearly not speaking of a place of logic. She's not speaking of she's
lost it, dude.
Yeah.
Which we understand, like, why she's angry of what had happened to her son, but for her to send Charlie, there's like,
honestly, I'm not even coming at her for that. I think like she was justified to be pissed off.
Yeah.
And like I know like if this was still season 4, and we were still recovering from it, say like if it was like 2 or 3 episodes after Nick died, and then we saw her send Charlie into the wolf's den, I don't think we would have minded. But I think it's because we've seen how all of this happened and all that stuff, so we know how much she's changed. But at the end of the day, this is a fresh wound for Madison, so I didn't really blame that.
Yeah.
It was just like...
I don't blame her for being angry and having that reaction, but again...
she's still a shitty person.
Well, she's a shitty person, and she also, before making a decision about what Charlie should do to redeem herself...
And because she's been
give
redeemed.
it some time. Alicia didn't...
Nah, yeah. Even in real life, that's one thing that I'm always trying my best to do, and I even tell other people, like when people are heated, they make these terrible decisions.
Yep.
So like before you're gonna like chew out someone or whatever, give yourself a day to realize what you're gonna say. That way the next day you can actually realize, wait, I was gonna say all this crap, because I mean a lot of people do things just extremely hate it's just out of
they get
pure
emotional
anger.
And then it's like, well, it's forgivable because it's not forgivable because you should know better. You're a fucking adult. Big Rob saying Madison is somewhat Carol in season 10 of TWD.
In a way.
Oh, I can see. Yeah, that's actually a cool comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Because Carol was not making the best decisions.
Even though that Charlie decided to go and say, "Hey, okay, Madison, I will." I wish that there was a fight with Strand Daniel and Luciana said, "Hey, like hell no," and, it's like we're not going to do this with Charlie. Like, why y'all gonna accept? Like, I'll be like, we understand why you angry.
And,
We
and,
understand.
and Luciana should have stopped the whole shit right there.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah. It's like we family.
Madison is not. Charlie worked for Luciana. Luciana was her leader. So Luciana should have said, fuck no, you're not going. We're not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
This is an ill-conceived plan. We need to come up with a better plan.
And then plus you haven't been here. So you have not been here to know the dynamic of the group.
And you're going to explode my friggin' rig full of gas. It's just, yeah. I don't know. What did you guys think of the separation at the end, though? Like, everyone's like, Daniel goes off with Luciana.
It
Madison's
literally felt like when Madison walked away, it kind of felt like as if they were getting rid of another character, like a Morgan Jones type exit. Like, it just felt like, okay, well, that's it. Obviously, I feel like we're going to see her again, but it just felt like an entrance. I mean, like an exit, excuse me. I don't know.
Yeah, well, she's going to still be looking for, a one-eyed Bida or a one-armed Bida. Not a one-eyed one. That would be me if I had actually turned. But,
nobody wouldn't be looking for you. I'll be ignoring you. Hey,
I will
that's the
chomp your
governor
ass.
right over there.
I will turn you so quick. No, I mean, Madison is not in a position in her life right now where she should be leading anyone.
Mm-mm.
And again, as I said in the beginning, they're sending her on potentially dangerous missions, and she's the one who needs a fucking oxygen tank. She should have stayed home. She should have stayed home for the last episode, and then Troy's people never would have actually broken into Anton's little place there, and they'd be all good. But no, she has to be out there. It's very important that she's out there, sucking on her oxygen tank and getting into these fights that she can't necessarily win because she's going to get out of breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I almost forgot about Nick's ashes. They didn't bring up Nick's ashes before letting Charlie go. It's like, first of all, it's a post-apocalyptic world. You're going to spend the time to go back to the gravesite, dig him up, burn whatever remains, so you can have a little. Where did they find the means? Because those crematoriums, that shit runs hot. Just burning someone
They probably burn themselves.
What's that?
They probably burn them themselves.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's like a regular fire is not going to do the job of a crematorium.
I was trying to look this up,
Sure.
and I was thinking like, okay, so like we have the scene with Charlie and Madison where Charlie at this point would do anything that Madison would say, kind of to like make up for what she did. And I was like thinking, like, it kind of reminded me of a character, like a line that we had, and I'm like thinking of movies, everything that I can think of, but then it turns out it's actually from The Walking Dead. It kind of reminds me of the scene. I want to say it was Rosita yelled at Glenn, because it was right after the governor was a dickhead and he destroyed the prison. And so Tara ends up going with Glenn, but I'm pretty sure it's from this where like Tara is literally sticking with Glenn, doing whatever she says, and then I think Rosita kind of like calls Glenn out for it and says flat out like, oh, she's willing to do all this, like she feels like she owes you, yada yada yada. And it kind of just reminded me of the whole Charlie thing, because Charlie's literally willing to do whatever it takes in order to protect or in order to just
appease.
Yeah. So kind of like it kind of reminded me of the two. Like I'm over here thinking,
which is also not a great time to be making the decision. When you're that desperate.
hello Ashley.
Huh?
Someone said hi, busy, so I had to respond.
Oh.
Hi, Ashley. Fine. Nor Bebe and me, but it's
No,
fine.
Ashley is an OG
It's
at the Busy
busy.
Braun channel.
Yeah, that's his power.
Okay.
Oh, what happened? Is it? What happened to you?
Oh, hold on.
He got shy all of a sudden.
I got more food.
But I don't know. It's not. Again, Luciana should have been a leader. and shut that shit down. She was on the fucking title card. She should have been a leader.
Jack was coming at that. Like I was talking to him yesterday. He's like, yeah, they finally give her a title card, but then put her in the episode for like 10 minutes.
That's what I said. That's what I said on Twitter.
Well, they would have put Charlie in, but they wanted that reveal.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like, and I said to Governor, like, when Luciana had an episode with Daniel at one point in season 7, they could have given her that title card because it was revolve around her and in her relationship with Daniel. But no, they didn't. I think they just doing this to shut us up. Say, okay, y'all got it. Shut up.
It's like, hey, we're going to show you that we're really not going to develop Luciana anymore. We're just going to make her a hard-ass bitch who knows how to refine crude oil. That is her.
Because she knows how to do that in season 5, right?
Yeah, she learned how to do it. She hadn't done it pre-apocalypse, I don't think, or did she? I don't even know, but she got to work, at the oil field, and and that's why she had this whole big thing with Padre. But yeah, I do say that it's they haven't given her enough development, since I didn't even see her where she came in and disappeared and came back and then hooked up with Nick. I'd say I'm not really that attached to her because I don't know her. She seems nice. She seems like a nice person. Rob says Madison only needs oxygen when the story lags. Alex says it's the Negan and Maggie parallel. He owes her for Glenn, so he does anything she wants him to. I mean, yeah, he will go out of his way, but he's also not, self-destructive. He's not stupid.
Yeah.
So, and he's a grown-ass man. He's a little more capable than Charlie. And again, she's like, you were able to infiltrate us when you were 11. Here it is, 10 years later, you're out of fucking practice. Go infiltrate Troy's group and kill him. Be nice.
And then, Madison was the one who almost got her killed, even after she wanted her to come back. She knew she got captured, but continued to talk.
Yeah.
That kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, we were talking about that before you came on. It's like, first of all, Charlie should have said, I'm surrounded by them. I'm signing off. Shut up. Turned off the radio so that way she'd have a chance for Troy to be like, who the fuck are you? And not necessarily connect her immediately to Madison. And then when he opened up the door, she could have been like, I surrender, and then stabbed him in the head. It would have been nice if she really just wanted to take out Troy.
But like before, she didn't know how Troy looked like, though.
Well,
right?
I imagine someone described. I mean, they'd be go kill somebody. We're not going to tell you what he looks like. We're just giving you a first name.
Hey, kill Troy.
Go kill Troy. No, not that Troy. That's a different Troy. Oh, sorry. In the Walking Dead universe, nobody has the same first name within 500 miles. So whatever Troy you find is going to be the one. But yeah, or if she was going to blow up the rig, if she had planned to blow up the rig, she could have blown it up then. If she had planned to just take out Troy and his men, and she was willing to die, as apparently was.
Yeah.
J.E. says, Troy's kid is Alicia's kid.
I don't believe that.
No, it can't be.
No, don't make it.
Because again, it doesn't seem like Troy's kid is an infant. I don't think Alicia would have got jiggy with it with Troy, even if she met him after she walked off, at the end of last season. Yeah. And she probably wouldn't want to have a child because, she's all, still probably fighting the infection when she met him. And, there's lots of reasons. Plus, she would. It's very difficult for a woman not to realize that she's the mother. So,
Um,
yeah.
Alex was like thinking that Troy's kid had blew up the truck, and I'm like, well, it makes a lot of sense, you know.
What, Kim blew up the truck?
Troy's daughter
Tracy.
Tracy?
that she could be the one. I say it makes a whole lot of sense. Keep her ass in, in the house. Dadgummit, these kids.
These kids, not Carl didn't stay in the house. Henry didn't stay in the house. Didn't even stay in the settlement. Ran off after some whisperer chick. You know, it's these kids. But I don't know that Tracy actually caused the explosion. I think that was probably something that Charlie figured she would get them to bring the rig into the courtyard of the hotel. It would explode, and she might have a chance to escape and kill Troy at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what her plan was, but she was out of practice.
But isn't something that Troy kind of begged Madison, like, hey, can you find my child? I'm like, Troy, are you begging? Are you begging Madison to find your daughter? I was like, I don't think that Madison want to find your daughter. Like she's like Madison said, hey, you're gonna like know what the feeling is trying to find your child. So you ain't gonna ask me for no help. I'm like, Troy, you are the Troy. You don't beg. Okay, now what is I said maybe he did change. I don't want to see him change. I don't want to have no redeeming qualities with like characters all the time, But yeah, he was like, can you just find my kid? I'm like, oh, now you want? No, suffer. I don't care about that little twerk.
I don't know. Madison in the last episode was more about being right than going along with Strand's story and protecting his situation. And this one, she's all about being right, sending out Charlie, and then deciding, for her to come back. Mm-hmm. But again, Charlie should have been like, you guys, shut up. They're here. You're going to blow my fucking cover. Turning off the goddamn radio.
Yeah. I think what's going to happen with Madison, that she's going to meet up with Tracy.
Oh, she's going to meet her before.
Mm-hmm.
And find her and maybe be like, I'm going to give you your daughter back. Just leave Padre alone. That's our deal.
So you want your daughter? It's like, well, you ain't going to, like, if I give you my daughter, you ain't going to get Padre or what have you. So or give him some land that, if they're going to redeem Troy in kind of way, it's kind of like, look, y'all got to figure out if y'all going to live in harmony in a way, kind of like, we don't like each other, but we're going to deal with each other. How about this? You get this side of land.
I've heard that before.
Land, and we get this one, okay? You get Padre number 2, right? And I get the primary one. If we need help and what have you, but that's what I'm seeing what they're going to do with Troy. Accept him in, redeem him. That's it. I just want to see one main character get killed off. We didn't get except for Rosita though. We didn't get none of that in the main show.
You're mad we didn't see more people we love die?
Yeah. Ross Marquand was like, he wanted a lot more people to die himself. But
I totally expected it too.
Yeah,
but
like
they
maybe 2 or 3.
wimped out. Now with
like the reason I fell in love with The Walking Dead is because they had no chill. Like no one was safe. So I fully expected us to end on that note. So I was a little disappointed that it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're going to make up for it because these writers don't know what to do with anybody except bring them back to life and kill them. So
because they don't want to piss off the fans. They don't want to piss off the fans. If you kill somebody, we riot like Daryl. I mean, I don't want him to die though, but that's just an example.
I would fucking laugh so hard if Daryl died. But they're not going to kill off a cash cow. That's and if the Daryl Dixon series suddenly starts to tank, nobody likes Norman anymore. It comes out that he did something in his past that a lot of people don't like voted Democrat or something. I'm not saying I would disrespect him for that, but I'm just saying that there are fans of that show who are a little more right-leaning, who might be like, he voted for who? All right, I'm done. I'm done with Norman. If that happened, then they might kill off Daryl, but not until his his luster has begun to he's begun to lose his luster. That would happen.
You know, somebody said on Twitter, because I think there was like a little rift going on between like Charlie's death and whatnot. Somebody said that how come that we can see redeeming qualities with Negan, and that's what he's accepted, he's redeemed and whatnot, but when it comes to Charlie, it's like no. It's like no, we ain't gonna forgive Charlie. We can forgive Negan, but we ain't gonna forgive Charlie. I'm like, you know what, that does make sense, because I didn't like both of them from the very beginning. But then it's kind of like, okay, y'all growing on me. I see, why.
Yeah. One of them was a child and one of them was just a old man.
Dickhead, yeah.
Yeah, but people was like, well, Charlie killed Nick. She should have known better.
I didn't really care for Nick, if I'm being so completely honest.
Thank you. Thank you.
I care for Nick a bit. I mean, he was out of the Clarks, he was my favorite one out of the three for me. But
I mean, he seemed to have more of a personality than the rest of his family, but
because he cashed on real quick.
Like Jay Benanzinga, who wrote the Governor novels, wrote a story called a novel called Self Storage, which was a cool tale, but the main character was like a heroin addict, and I'm like, dude. It was a good story, but when you take someone who has this extremely obvious flaw, if he was a recovering heroin addict, that'd have been different. But he was a current heroin addict, and you're making them the hero of the story. It makes it.
He could still be a hero, even if he's an addict. I mean, yeah, he had problems, but if some of the things that Nick had done, the rest of the people would have died. Nobody thought of putting like Walker's blood. That happened in the main show. People put Walker's blood and that's how it worked. But nobody in the Fear of the Walking Dead thought of putting Walker's blood on and then he can coast through the walk. Nick did that. Okay. Nick was the one that realized what's going on. The rest of them was just like, are you okay?
And he still died.
But Nick is just like this. And so in a way, even if he's recovered or not, Nick, but Nick did have flaws now.
Alex is kind of agreeing with you, saying he was the first one to do the guts camo. But
yeah, now Nick did have flaws, because when he was in season 3, when he was with Troy, he tried that Walker brain that's laced with a drug or what have you. He ate that, and Troy trying to stop him. Troy trying to stop him. And then he stole pills from Ophelia when she was bit and when she was with. So yeah, he was a bit of a dick and what have you, but he has some heroic qualities as well.
Everyone can have good and bad qualities, but I don't know. A heroin addict is already someone whose motivations would be suspect. It's like basically, as the apocalypse went on, he had to obviously go cold turkey and eventually, get over his addiction. But, my initial impression of him was he was more concerned about his next high than anybody else. And I did not see his entire journey because I only saw season 1. And so...
Yeah, you got to see the whole thing. And, people who either still an addict, sometimes they know places and they know how to navigate. They know the streets. And so, it ain't, you sometimes you do wonder if they're going to get their next fix. But at the same time, I'd rather have the person on my side, like, hey, if you know a place that we can go since you've been all around the place, oh yeah, I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to stick to Nick.
Well, Robin said Nick hooked him with Strand, which is true. That saved them and got them to the boat, and they got away that way. But I still wonder why Strand chose Nick.
Because they both similar. If you really truly look at it, again, you haven't watched the season. You haven't watched, the first 3, as a whole, because they the same. They know what it is. And Daniel too. All 3, Daniel Strand and Nick know what it is. It took Travis. Oh, dang! It took Travis a long time just to get it until his son had died. He started getting it.
Yeah,
then
Travis annoyed me too. So
that Travis was good. Ooh, see now I'm gonna stop saying it because you didn't see the end of season 2 when he went all crazy.
We could still see him because he ended up walking away, and we didn't see what happened to what happened to him.
Oh, child, smacked down to the ground.
I know. I was trying to see if maybe that way if Kyle ever watched it, he could get surprised. Never mind.
I'm not too worried about spoilers for that. I will probably not go back and watch it. Anyway, let's. It's been an hour and a half. Well, for most of us, Pissy got here a little late, but not as late as usual. So
it's not.
Okay.
It was okay.
We can wrap it up. I'll be here next week.
Oh, what you eating?
Dino chicken nuggets.
Ooh,
Dino chicken.
Dino chicken.
Me, Grimlock, not chicken nuggets.
I want Dino chicken nuggets.
It's a Dinobot chicken nugget.
Can you name this? Can you name this dinosaur?
Wait.
Show me the dinosaur. That looks like a brontosaurus.
I don't know.
You're gonna ask a question. I don't know either.
So today's trivia question is: who is this piece
This
of
is why he
chicken?
hired Tomaj instead of me. I'd be like, who was the first person to appear on the Walking Dead show? I don't know.
I don't know. And give me the name of the episode too.
That's like the Jack stuff. It's crazy.
Well, maybe Jack will join us one of these days. I don't know.
No, yeah. He's working too late.
Well, that's a problem he's got to resolve. But, all right, final thoughts and shameless self-promotion. Busy, why don't you start us off? Final thoughts about this episode?
Code Busy Braun, G Fuel. And again, dark episode. It was all right. It was cool. Really excited to see what they do next. I'm still super nervous. Like I'm really scared. I want it to be good. I do. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Busy Braun everywhere. Follow me.
All right, babe.
Well, y'all can follow me, Dim Mayhem, on Instagram and Twitter. The episode was good. It ain't all that great. It has its flaws, but it's okay. I can't wait. I can't wait for next week. Okay.
She started this stream like, I love this episode, and now she's like, it's good.
No, it's not. I said it from the very beginning. Governor was good. I didn't say it wasn't all that great, but it was good for what it was. Has its flaws, what have you. Like the title though, because it reminded me of a song. But I can't wait to see Dwight's episode next week.
Absolutely. I found it watchable, which after some of last season's stuff, it was an accomplishment on the For Fear the Walking Dead to be watchable. I mean, I enjoyed it. I saw what they were doing. I didn't agree with a lot of the writing decisions, obviously, and I nitpicked it. I was glad to see Charlie. Sad to see her go in such a avoidable way. And these people they're all about the drama. That's the writers are like, let's make it super dramatic. Well, she could shoot the guy and then use her jacket to like brush the glass out of the way to get out of the. No. She's got to kill herself. Yeah. But yeah, I am curious to see what they do with the rest of the season. I am hoping that it is watchable and does the characters that are left justice. They fucked Luciana this episode, and not in the good way. And yeah, just
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Sure, she's raised her hand. Sure. I'm calling on you.
Yeah, about like when we do the quiz, the trivia. Did Karina said that they're gonna do like back-to-back episodes?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Alex. What we may have to do is either do the trivia a week later, and just talk, because it's gonna be 2 episodes of Fear that we have to discuss in one night, and doing 22 questions would be very difficult. So maybe we'll do the 1 year anniversary of like our Requiem episode. You know, I don't know. We'll figure out something, or maybe we'll do the trivia on Monday night, and Tuesday will be a special date and time to talk about the finale. I don't know. We'll make some. We'll come up with some options, send them around to people, see what we can do. And I saw that it's going to be 2 episodes. Instead of stretching it out another week, they're giving us 2 episodes at once, and that's causing problems with what we had scheduled. So we'll figure it out.
Okay.
But everyone out there in the chat, thanks so much for showing up, and glad you are watching these. Alex just found out that there's 2 episodes in one day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have to do something about it. So, thanks everyone for attending. And of course, like, share, subscribe, all the stuff. Fandom, Spotlight, Busy Brawn, and Bebe's channel if you're into the whole, educating kids thing.
Oh, Honey Baby Kids Academy. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you got to promote that stuff. But we will see everyone next week. Governor and this amazing crew, we are out. All right, everyone look awkward. That is very awkward. And then, that is not a dinosaur, damn it.
Don't.
Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream.